What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Show. Today we're looking at the final two figures of at least the first wave of the 90s X-Men animated series X-Men figures. So these look really cool. Nice, awesome Marvel Legends here. So we have Jean Grey and Morph, again from that 90s X-Men series. So they're once again designed with the VHS box style. So it's in the same, looks like the VHS tapes, and we can see them there from the side. So I love how they have the picture of the character, different colors and everything, and their labels. And we spin around to the back, we can see Jean and Morph, and just look pretty cool. Get a little bit of their stories there as well, and of course in this plastic free packaging, so that's the all cardboard box, so we don't see the figure or anything, and they have this all cardboard inside with the tissue paper. But I'm excited that we have these two. We're gonna have the figures, with the cell shading and everything, and I actually have liked most of the figures, so I'm excited to check these two out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with Jean Grey again in her look from the X-Men animated series. She's an Omega level mutant. That's a beginning member of the X-Men as Marvel Girl. She has telekinetic and telepathic powers that Charles had to suppress until she learned to control them. And in the series and everything, we see she's in a romantic relationship with Cyclops, but has a secret attraction with Wolverine. And eventually she gets exposed to fatal levels of radiation and is replaced by the Phoenix Force, leading her to become Dark Phoenix. But overall, she's just Jean Grey at this point, has the powers of telekinesis and telepathy. And overall, I love the look of this design. It looks just like it does in the animated series. This body is pretty much the exact same body we've had in the old Jean that'll show in a second, but overall has the X-Men animated design and the cell shading of this. So you can see it there on her legs. It's hard to kind of tell. She's like this orangish yellow color, like dark yellow, and then has the orange cell shading. So you can see it there on the side, there on the side of her chest, and then has the blues with the like dark black like shading as well. They're up on their armor pads and all sorts of stuff. But I just overall think she looks good. Looks like the Jean does from the show. Has her long red hair, so the shorter hair up top and the long red hair going down there in the back. Her head design that comes up around her face mostly, so that design where you just see her center face there, and her face looks pretty decent. It's not the best, but it's not horrible. And then like I said, her outfit design has a belt on with a floating little X-Men logo there, some gauntlet pieces on her arms, and like I said, the all yellow color spandex outfit. And unfortunately she's the female figure, so the legs don't really work out too well. It's hard to get her to stand, especially like with her old figure. It's been in storage and everything, so her legs are bent, so it's kind of hard to get her to stand up. But that's one thing I hate about the female figures, is that if we put them in storage, they're really hard to stand up. Heck, even out of the box here, she's hard to stand, but it gets even worse. But overall, I think she looks really good. It's a nice, awesome design for her. But for her movements, her head can twist around, so it can twist around there. Can probably get all the way around, but her hair's sort of in the way, so you have to get up there and out of the way. But she can look down that far and up that far there because of her hair, so not horrible. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around within there. She has the shoulder cuff pieces, so it's hard to get all the way around. But then she has the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with rotation, and then the wrist can twist all the way around and flex back and forth. She's got the ab crunch right under her chest, so she can crunch forward, crunch back, so okay crunching, but can twist around there as well. This belt's getting real annoying just flopping around there, but the hips can come up to 90, out to the side that far, a thigh twist, a little bit stiff, but can twist all the way around. The double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking her butt, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So again, your classic female figure, so has single elbow joints and everything, and doesn't have all the best movements. Now, as I mentioned, she is based off her older figure, so here is that older version, and we have the head switched out here. So she's got the head with the big hair on it, but the bodies are going to be exactly the same, just obviously repainted for the animated series style. And speaking of her big hair, we do get an additional head with that same, pretty much same design there, so with the long red hair, all big and poofy. So let's try and switch this out. So there's the head with the big hair, and I overall like that design more, and I love the hair color, that bright red, but it's hard to get her to stand up though, even more because now she's got a big hair and stuff, and she keeps wanting to fall back. Now I know like in the show I always recognize her with like the ponytail in this design, but like I said, I do like the long hair design there. I think it looks really good, and we get additional accessories of some fist hands. So we have some fist hands if you don't want to have her open hands, but those kind of display her powers and stuff, so the open hands are going to be the best. But overall, I really like the look of this. Like I said, it carries off the look of the X-Men show and stuff, which is what it's supposed to. So overall, I do really like this figure a lot, and I really love the look of this Jean. And then we have Morph, which is a pretty cool figure here. I like the design, the base body of like an X-Men character and stuff. Overall, I really like this. He just has this leather jacket on that's a little bit annoying. But again, he's based off that X-Men animated series style, so that's what he looks like. So there's like his face, matches pretty well with how he did in the show. Then he has the all blue and yellow X-Men outfit. So like I said, pretty standard outfit for the X-Men. But he's got the jacket on, this leather jacket on over the top. Again, has the cell shading design, so has the darker brown running through it. Has the X-Men logo there on the chest as well. well. And so with that jacket design, it just kind of makes him bigger and puffier, and his arms always out to the side, like they won't fold down any further. So that's what's annoying about it with that jacket. But it'd be awesome just to have him in the all blue and yellow, so it's a base body that we could use for pretty much any character, just replace the head. But again, it has the cell shading, so we have the blue and yellow. You can see some of the darker designs there on the yellow, probably some on the blue as well. It's just hard to see. The red belt on with the X-Men logo and some color on there, and it looks like it's over to the side. I've been trying to move it centered. And then going down the legs, the blue design, again, some darker shading, so maybe hard to see, some darker blue. It has the straps on the thighs, much like the old Cyclops, but what I like about these is that they're actually built in now, so they won't be flopping around, and I believe we're going to be getting more X-Men characters like this in the future, so those aren't falling down the legs as well as the sections here. So that's one thing I really like about this figure, is that it's got those built-in pieces now, so they won't be flopping around, and then just has the yellow boots again with the cell shading and everything. So overall looks pretty good. But this is Morph, real name Kevin Sidney, and he first appeared as Changeling in the comics, but died shortly after joining the X-Men, and then was reintroduced for the animated series, who was a fun-loving, jovial member of the X-Men, but was believed to be killed during the X-Men's first encounter with the Sentinels. But he ended up being captured and became an agent of Mr. Sinister, and he was mad at the X-Men for leaving him behind, so he used his powers to create issues between the X-Men, and eventually was sent to Muir Island for treatment, where he was able to rejoin the X-Men once again. So we're currently rewatching the X-Men animated series, and yeah, we recently saw that where he went back to the X-Men and was pretending to be different characters and getting them all mad at each other. But overall, I think he looks pretty good, and I like this design. So for his movements, his head can twist around, a little bit hard to twist all the way around, but it can twist because of the color piece. Look down that far, look up that far, so not bad overall. The shoulders can come up to 90 there and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist, the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We get the ab crunch in the middle there, so we have the ab crunch, so crunch forward, crunch back, pretty good crunching. Of course, can't crunch all the way back because of the jacket, but nice crunching. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up 90, out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around there, right by the strap. Double knee joint that seems a little bit stiff, but can bend up that far. Ooh, he can kick his own butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So overall, he's got pretty good movements, just limitations because of the jacket that won't let his arms bend down more, but everywhere else, he's got really good movements, so hard to complain at all about this figure. It's much better than the Gene was. Love the look of it, so I think it looks pretty good. Now, we don't have any old morphs to really look at, so we only have this Age of Apocalypse morph, so it looks pretty good. It looks like he almost has the shell shading design on it as well, so this is just the old version of Morph there and how he looked in the comics and stuff, so just wanted to show that off. But for accessories, he comes with some additional hands, so he has the 2 fists, so he comes with these more just like open hands. Some generic hands will probably switch out just to add more to him, and then he also comes with the additional head with the dark circles around the eyes, so this is how he appears in the show at some points, especially when he's controlled by Mr. Sinister. So we have this head that I always liked for Morph, so we can switch this out. So there we can have Morph seeming a little bit more deranged and everything with the head and hand switched out there. And just for fun, I switched to that old Morph head as well to show that it does fit, and couldn't work for this figure as well, but I think I like this Morph head the best. So overall, Morph is a pretty good figure, and I really like this design. I know people are taking this figure and using like a wash on it to try and get all the cell shading off to have just a basic X-Men body, and of course, if you got it all off, this would be a good body for a Cyclops with the straps and the jacket and everything. So that's just always something you can do as well, but either way, I think this Morph is really cool. Well, there's all 6 of our Marvel Legends X-Men animated series figures that we've got so far in that classic VHS box design. So overall, these 2 new figures are cool of Jean and Morph. I think they fit in pretty well with the rest of the figures with all the cell shading, and based off the animated series design, I think they all fit pretty well. So pretty cool to have those 2 in with our other 4 figures there for that collection. Can't wait for this to continue. I know there are more coming in the future, so looking forward to those. But overall, I really like these figures. So let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.